Azure DevOps, YAML is a scripting language used in case of creating pipelines and implementing pipeline as a code approach. Here, the build and release pipelines will all be in the same script. The pipeline code can be modularized into steps and tasks, and thereby allowing reuse across pipelines and projects. Anyone coming from the scripting world can easily understand the YAML to start developing the pipelines. The YAML files can be managed in a repository, allowing a better change management and tracking for the pipeline changes and the history of the changes. In Azure DevOps, as we saw in the previous section, in order to create a new pipeline using YAML, you again go into new pipeline, and instead of selecting the classic editor, you go into, let's say I'm selecting an Azure repo here and then demo repo. Let me start with a starter pipeline, and you get a basic starter pipeline with the trigger configured for the main branch and using an hosted agent from Ubuntu OS, and then there are some steps and script identified and managed. So let's say if I go ahead and save, and I give a name YAML pipeline, and then save. So now I have two pipelines. Okay, maybe there's okay. I'll create a new branch for now. Okay, and start. So now I have, if I go to the pipelines, I have two pipelines. One is ASP.NET pipeline, which was a visual editor based, and I have demo repo, which is basically the pipeline for using the YAML script. If I edit, I'll be able to see the same code. Now, as I said, this file or this YAML file is saved in the repository. So if I go back to repo and then go into demo repo, I don't see anything because remember I had committed into a new branch. If I go to the Azure Pipelines branch, you see a file called Azure Pipelines.yaml, which is the same as what we saw in the edit screen of the pipeline. So any changes done to this pipeline, either from the pipelines view or from this file, we will always be able to manage the history, view the changes, and manage. And since, as I said again, since this is a script code based, you'll be able to modularize the script into a common reusable script and access them across the pipelines and across the projects. So we will spend some time understanding YAML based scripting at later part of the course, uh, uh, mainly focusing on how to modularize and how to reuse the scripts from a different project or from a framework.